everyone, welcome to iCanHazDraw. This is Cheri. In this video I'm going to show you how to draw a simple cartoon butterfly. Begin by loosely drawing a small circle on your paper. Next you're going to draw the butterfly's body. This is going to look kind of like a banana. And now it's time to draw the wings. Because this is a cartoon, I'm not going to get into a whole lot of fancy detail on the wing structure. It just looks like a couple of football shapes, one behind the other. Now I'm doing the lower wing. As you can see, I drew the two wings up top for the illusion of dimension. I'm just going to do the one in the front for the bottom wing. And now I'm just going to draw on the antenna, a little curly antenna here. And because I'm going to do this a little bit differently than my other lessons, I'm not going to be using Sharpie this time. So I'm going to be laying in the base color first, and then I'll be going over it with a darker marker. But I want to make sure I get my lines just right, and I have to make sure that when I erase, I don't erase all the lines. So throughout this video, I'm going to be doing a lot of going back and refining and going over things. So if that bores you, I'm sorry. That's kind of my workflow usually. And again, this is something different. I thought it'd be fun to try. And also, for anyone who likes to take a long time, don't feel bad, because everybody who likes to draw usually takes a long time to finesse and get it looking right. This is just one way of doing it. And I do want my lines to be as fine as possible and thin as possible, because I won't really be erasing that much once I put the marker down, like I usually do in my other videos. After I draw over it with a Sharpie, I just erase whatever's left over. Well, that's not going to happen this time, so I have to get it right before I put in the color. But that's just my method. If you want to try something different, by all means, give it a go. The kneaded eraser that I'm using is excellent for very fine eraser work. It's not rubbing it all off at once, so it's leaving behind just a faint mark. So it's really working in favor of this method of drawing right now. I'm going to go ahead and move on now to the wing pattern. If you ever look at a butterfly wing, you'll see that there's intricate lines going across it. I'm just going to do some simple breakdowns of those lines. Nothing terribly fancy, because again, this is, like the title says, a simple cartoon butterfly. But it's just enough to suggest that this is supposed to look like a real butterfly, or be reminiscent of a real butterfly. And just like the outline of the butterfly's body and wings, I'm going to be finessing a lot of these lines. I started off with a loose gesture, and now I'm going to go back and tighten them up, because here is where it's going to get a little tricky. I'm going to be coloring over the pencil lines that I've just drawn with a light blue marker, and it'll be kind of hard to see, so I have to make sure I get it just right where it won't show through the marker, but just enough to where I can see what I'm doing. This is kind of therapeutic as well, for me anyway. Going over something over and over, going back and finessing and refinessing. Kind of mentally, it just helps clear my head. So I get a little carried away with this as well. Don't feel like you have to do it. If you feel like you got it right the first time, then that's awesome. Art is very much a mental thing, it's an emotional thing. It's like a meditation. And going back to the body. I'm going to go ahead and put those little rings around the butterfly's body. Kind of balance it out. Kind of liking the direction of this butterfly's head looking more oval instead of just round. So I'm going to push it in that direction. And you can probably tell now that I'm just jumping all over the drawing because my eye is constantly going around looking at the whole drawing, seeing it as a whole. Trying to erase it now where it'll be ready to color, but not too much that I can't see what I'm going to do with it. I picked out probably the lightest blue color in my marker collection, and through the camera it probably doesn't look like you can see the pencil lines anymore. It probably, you may be freaking out going, oh no Cheri, what are you doing? You're ruining it. I can actually see it okay, just the way that the light is filtering through the lens. It's hard to see it, but when you're doing this, as long as you can see your markings for the next part of this lesson, that's all that matters. They're just there to guide you. Also, if you'd rather just do a regular outline and have no color, or you still want to use the Sharpie marker, you can do that too. This is just something that I thought would be fun to try. As I'm coloring the wings, you can see I'm coloring in the direction that the wing flows, so to speak, because markers are funny like that. They'll leave that texture on the paper. If you're working in colored pencil, it's less of an issue. Although you still have to make sure that it's evenly colored. So that's done. And next I'm going to color in the body of the caterpillar, the head and the body, with this kind of tan color. And I'm taking my time. I'm making sure I'm being extra careful while I'm coloring, because it'd be really hard to go back and fix this if I stepped over a line. So I'm not rushing this one. now I'm going to outline the butterfly wings with the beautiful royal blue. And now it is time to outline the pattern within the wings. As I said before, I can see the pencil lines fine, so I'm going along them just as I had drawn them before I colored over them, and I'm using it as a guide. It's guiding me to put the marker in the right spot. That's looking really nice. I'm satisfied with that. Now it's time to finish the butterfly, and I've got a really dark brown, kind of a chocolate brown, I'm going to use to outline the head, just like I would a Sharpie marker, and then the body, and then those little lines I made across the body. They're curved a little bit. And next, the antenna. So there you have a beautiful finished simple cartoon butterfly. I actually enjoyed this lesson a lot because it's different, and I think it was very fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and I hope you guys enjoyed drawing it as well. Remember, you can has draw.